Welcome to another edition of the Unsexy Podcast, where we talk about the unsexy side of everything. I am joined by my brother Aaron Skinner. I am Alex Skinner. And guess what? We're talking about AI again, but we're talking about how you can use it for your own personal health. I wonder if we should just throw a disclaimer on here where we are not doctors, just like almost like AI does whenever you ask it a question like, you should always consult the nutritionist or a physician before actually doing these things, yada, yada, yada. But
Yeah.
for me, just like jumping, like it has been game changing in teaching me quickly. Like what I mean by that is being able to give it all of my data points and saying, here are my goals. What am I supposed to do to be able to achieve those goals? I'll just give you an example. One thing that isn't going to change though is like AI can't do everything. AI, as far as like if you're using Gemini or a tool like that, like you can't just, hey, give me all of like, for example, like, hey, what's my RMR? Like they can give you your average, but it can't test for that yet. Like, so you have to give it data points, how tall you are, yada, all of those things. So you have to be measuring certain aspects of it. But the way that I use it is just, I give it all of my data points now that I have all of these data points. And I say, I don't like these things, these things, these things. Give me a diet plan and give me a workout plan. Cause like there's certain workouts that I don't really love because like I have shoulder issues that I try to avoid. And then there's just certain foods where like, don't suggest tuna. Don't suggest
I know.
canned tuna because I'm never going to eat that.
Sorry,
and it makes
Darren.
you like a health plan instantaneously. And it has been game changing for me. How do you use it?
Yeah, so I used it. I use it all the time. The main for tracking stuff. So I already have an app for tracking things, and then I will upload like my daily macros, and just it almost like a thing that just holds me accountable. Like at the end of the day, I'll send it to him like, hey, you did good at this and this and this. Hey, you're low on, I'm always low on carbs for whatever reason. What a great problem to have. But it's always like, hey, you're low on carbs. Maybe grab a rice cake or two or whatever it is. Like, oh, do it. The nice thing about it too, it knows what I eat normally. And so it'll suggest things that I already have access to. So it's not like, all right, you need carbs. Go buy some yuca at the store. It's always like Aaron has rice cakes, so it'll be like rice cakes or whatever it is, and so that makes it nice. I just think the mental aspect of having something that is holding you accountable, almost to the point where sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I could send this to ChatGPT today. It's going to be mad at me that I didn't hit my macros right, and it's going to get mad at me. Although, as we've talked about, ChatGPT is like the most supportive AI of all of them.
Very
Even
kind.
very kind, very whatever. Well, this is kind of a different thing. I use Claude for a lot of other things as well. And I was like, can I just use you for all this? It's like, it's like, I'm better at ChatGPT than everything. Yeah, I'm better at everything than ChatGPT. I was just like, okay. I love the confidence.
You say so.
But it's also like, it gives you a lot more harsh feedback. It's not like, it's like a good trainer, I guess use whatever AI you want, but I use it for my workouts. I'll like my logs for my workouts, I'll throw it in there. The nice thing about it too is it remembers all the workouts as well. It's just like, hey, you hit this PR, you did this, or hey, you didn't go up as much as you normally do. Are you having issues or weren't feeling up for it or whatever? It's just, and it's sometimes like, oh, maybe you want to know what? I actually, that was the day, or that's right, I didn't have enough carbs, or I didn't have enough something, or I didn't sleep good. So just take so many things into account while I'm doing it. So I do like it a lot.
Well, that's interesting because I don't even use it for like the motivation, or I use it almost exclusively for planning. Like I use Gemini regularly where I'll just be like, I've hit whatever goal I wanted to hit. So like, here's the like next step in the plan.
Yeah.
Say how tall I am, say what my weight is, say what my overall goals are. Like, is it lose fat, gain muscle? Is it maintain muscle, lose fat? Is it maintain blah, 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 blah. So maybe starting to use that will be like the next thing for unlocking, getting a little bit of that shame starting to come through from a a non-human source that somehow makes it easier to
Yeah.
deal with.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
exactly.
well, you're not real. And then of course they'll be like, remember 100 years ago when you said I wasn't real? Here I am now. But
Here I am, battery.
yeah, screw you, man. Oh, because they're gonna start
Because
making
we're the
us
batteries. Yeah. We're gonna be the
doing
batteries.
the that's Black Mirror, and then I think that's a Rick and Morty episode too. Watch out. But I think I think my favorite part is like it takes all of the guesswork out of everything. So, because I think when people are like starting a workout thing, they're just like, oh, there's like so much like work that goes into it. I almost I wish like we could like say the exact same. I probably put like 10 minutes max into like each plan that I do. It's
Yeah.
probably less than that. Like, cause it had, like Aaron mentioned, it has all of your past information. So when you're giving it this, and honestly, I just want to make sure I say this another time, like get as much testing done as possible, because like that is the only way that you're, for example, I just found out what my RMR was, and I was probably more like on the lower end of what that number should be
Mhm.
for like my height, age, and weight. And so for the goals that I had, like I was eating too much. And not just eating too much of the wrong things.
Mhm.
And so now that I have that actual RMR number that I gave to it with like my multiplier. So if like you guys are hearing all of these things like, well, what's the multiplier? Like the multiplier is just based on your activity. So you get your RMR, mine's 1800,
What's
and then you
RMR,
go
Alex?
resting metabolic rate.
I wasn't
So
a test.
resting
It's
metabolic.
just I know people are like, what the hell is he saying RMR? What the hell does that mean?
Right. So
Sorry.
RMR is like if you were to not do anything the entire day, how many calories your body would need.
Mhm.
That's
Right.
that's all that it is. And then based on your activity level, they give you a multiplier. I have like my Aura ring. By the way, I invested in it and just got a nice little something something from it. So I'm just gonna keep using Aura. Don't care if they ever go bad. Um, and so I have that data as well that I can input with it.
Mhm.
So then you have that, and then it goes, okay. Oh, and then your multiplier. Sorry, I'm getting distracted here. Your multiplier is just based on whatever your activity level is. So if you're
Right.
sedentary, if you're medium active, if you're super active, it's going to give you a multiplier. Mine's 1.4. And so that means 1800 times 1.4. And then my goal currently is to be, and as I'm like talking this out, like, I do input all of this information in, but I'm letting you just know how simple it is once you have the data points. I've been going on for about 2 minutes. I probably type this and get it into my computer way faster than saying it out loud. Okay, so I'm 1800, 1.4. I think that takes me to about 2,500 calories per day. My goal is to gain muscle, lose fat. And so I need to be at a deficit so that I'm losing fat. But then I need a really high protein diet so that I'm ensuring that I'm not losing any of my muscle. Boom. I know this because it tells me, and then it spits it back to me. It's like, all right, cool. You should be at about 170 to 180 grams of protein today. 250, I think, carbohydrates. I don't know what it actually is. And then about 70 grams of fat. And then
Mhm.
that should give you essentially what you're targeting and trying to do. Bada bing, bada boom. Now I start tracking it in my apps like Aaron is talking about, and everything becomes incredibly easy. And as we've talked about before, you start to like notice like Sunday was like not a good day for me. And I was like, and I didn't enter anything into my app. So you start noticing these habits that you have that you start to get better at recognizing and getting out of. So highly recommend using AI for, even if it's just at the baseline of what I'm doing, what I just walked through. Anybody can do. Where do I go get my data? Do a Google search, find a place that does RMR testing, find a place that does DEXA scans, finds a place that does whatever it is that you're looking to try to improve upon. Get that information, input it, get your output, and then start going on with your life. Do
Right.
you find, Aaron, like, do you have a lot of human accountability?
No. Besides the fear of human accountability,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. No,
Like
I
you,
don't. Like none of my I do actually I do now because I just got a coach for the show that I want to do next year. And so I do now. But like the entire time before, no, not really. In fact, I would say I mean, I don't know. I guess I had a friend who was also losing weight at the same time, and so I was kind of accountable to him in a way, but he wasn't as motivated as I was, and so it would have been easy just like, oh, Jerry's not losing weight either. You know what? Fuck it. I don't need to be doing this as hard. It was more of I don't know, man.
Is that weird?
What?
So like think about this. So because I'm the same way. So it's not like I'm saying like both of us are weird. Is it weird that like the most healthy you've ever been in your life
Yeah.
essentially was you and AI the entire time? I know you've done like health things in the past.
Sure. Yeah.
And they're usually like competition against friends.
Yes.
Which like involves like human involvement, but for whatever reason, the one that was most effective. Why do you like? I honestly, it's just like a curiosity. Like why? Like why are we like that?
I honestly think like I like goals and things like that. I like challenges, and the AI was just a tool. And the one thing I did want to say though about AI is make sure you're prompting it well. And we could probably like if we're interested in seeing what like our prompt is to get the most accurate information, comment down below prompt or whatever. But the like making sure, because if you just go in like point blank of like, hey, Gemini, ChatGPT, whatever it is, like, give me, this is what I want to do, it'll give you the information. But I always say, I want you to cross-reference everything you're giving me, and then I just list all of these different medical journals, like everything, and that way I know before it's giving me that information, it's going and making sure it's giving me as accurate as possible. I would still spot check some of this stuff every once in a while, but this is also why, Alex, it's so important what you said about getting your own tests done, because like you said, like, oh, I thought my RMR was, I thought it was
2000.
2000 for so long.
Yeah.
But it's the more accurate you can be with those numbers, the more accurate you're going to be with losing weight and stuff like that. Like, it's just going to make things simpler. Like, it's going to take a lot of the guesswork out, because if you, Alex, kept using that same number, I'm like, I'm doing what my RMR is. Like, why am I not losing weight? This is crazy. And then you're going to think it's some other thing. And it just turned out as simple as, oh, I was just off by 300 calories a day, which adds up. So that's important. But to go back to your original question of why, I don't even think it was, my motivating thing really wasn't the fact that I was using AI.
Right.
It was just the tool that I used that made it easier, I guess.
Maybe that's what it is.
So I was just saying, not easier, but simpler, which is literally the same word. But I just it just took so much of the guesswork out of it. And I'm just like kind of I like seeing numbers, and so I like be like, okay, so I'm here now, I'm there. This is what I told my coach. Was like, he's like, how do you like to be coached? I was like, you just tell me what I have to do, and I'll just do it. Like, whatever it is, like, I'll do whatever exercise I'm supposed to do, whatever diet I'm supposed to be on. I did tell him I don't like tuna either. But it's just like, just tell me what to do. So I think just having someone in your hand that can tell you what to do immediately is so much easier than like, well, next time I see my buddy, I guess you could just,
how are those peptides, or how are
you could just text him, I guess. I'm like, yeah, but he might be busy. Like ChatGPT or AI is never busy for me unless I am over on my credits, and then all of a sudden it wants money. But yeah, it's just so simple. And like the tracking the food thing, like, people think that's so crazy, and I probably did too. Like, back in the day, I'm like, track your food, that's just a pain in the ass. On average, tracking my food takes me 3 minutes a day, and like for the entire thing, because once you have the initial stage sucks, because you're logging in all this new stuff, you got to look it up, and not only that, like, oh, you have to they all have barcode scanners. Stop being fucking lazy. Like, it's so easy, and then it becomes even easier because a lot of the times you're eating similar things. So for me, I open it up, I hit breakfast, and it pulls up all the stuff I normally have for breakfast. I just go doot, 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 done, and then I'm done. And if I have new things, or if you're going out, like we went to a restaurant, and it had like the restaurants, all of their macros in there. So I was like, what am I getting? I just started typing in the name of the restaurant, the meal, the food I was getting. It was just like, broke it all down. It had it all there. So there's really no excuse except for it. There's no excuse. Like, it's just like, people will spend thousands of dollars to lose weight or do whatever. They'll hop on a GLP-1 or whatever it is, but you're not willing to spend 5 minutes a day tracking your food. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, don't scroll for 5 minutes on
Right.
Instagram and do that instead.
Yeah. I mean, I do it while I'm eating. Like, so
It's
like,
me too.
yeah. So like in the process of eating something I was going to have to do anyways.
Mhm.
And I would assume like that's probably what you're referencing with scrolling. Like some people are like, all right, I'm going to go on the ESPN app or I'm going to go like, look at this. And like, you're also 100% on the nose with it sucks at the start.
Yes.
And then once you have all of the stuff that you're consistently eating and like prepping, like whatever it is, then it's just like, oh, this like isn't hard at all. And like, I don't know if I'm not like perfect at this, but you also like get to this point where you can kind of estimate. I'm like, this is
Yeah.
about 4 ounces.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This is about 50 grams. This is like about whatever it is. Cause I've been measuring so much. It's like, okay, cool. Like I, even if they didn't like that restaurant example you have, even if they don't have the calories there for you, like you should be able to get a somewhat close number,
Yes.
for like what you're doing. And a lot of times this is probably sociopathic psychotic behavior, but like I already know what I'm getting when I go to the restaurant. I go, all right, I'm going to eat this amount of this thing, and then I
Yep.
just enter it in before I
Yeah.
even go, so
Oh
I can
yeah.
enjoy the meal and not have to do it while I'm eating there. Like there's so many ways to do this, and I haven't even tried. Like you said you upload your macros to
You take a screenshot and send it.
AI.
Mhm.
Oh,
I just do a
start to do
screenshot,
that.
send it over, and it just reads it all and just breaks it all down and says, "Hey, you did this great, you did that great." And it's none of that I'm looking for like the validation. It's more just tracking, just another form of tracking is all it is. And then it can. I mean, that's the other thing too. I weigh myself almost every day, and I'll put
Does
that in the app.
Does like when you're doing that with AI, does it give you like suggestions like it starts to like notice trends maybe? Because this is me asking a question to share something.
No,
But
I
like when
was
you're uploading to AI, will it be like, hey, you should try doing this more or that more?
so yesterday I put it in there and I was like, I was struggling to get the carbs, and I this is what I asked it. I said, "Hey, how can I hit my macros for the rest of the day?" Actually, for the rest odd day, because I don't know what an F and a D is, but Claude figured it out. And it was just like a solid combo to close the day is a cup of rice, a banana, or it looks like you like to eat cream of wheat. So cream of wheat and a banana, and you should be good. I was like, sweet. What I did, I made some cream of wheat, I put some banana in there, and I ate it, and that was my dessert for the rest of for that night.
And
And
this is why AI is probably going to be better than your tracking apps. Because let me just read what my tracking app suggested. Try powdered drinks more often. We've noticed on days you eat powdered drinks, you tend to keep your total calories lower. Just like, so like, and I try to like get as much of obviously I have to supplement with stuff, but like I try
Sure,
to get as many of my calories from like actual foods as
like Whole
possible.
Foods. Yeah.
And so like when it gives me that suggestion, just like, you don't understand me at all. Like, just like, you don't understand what I'm like these powdered drinks are essentially, because it'll usually like into my smoothie that I'm making with
Mhm.
bananas, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And so I need to start using like the AI for that because it'll probably give me more legitimate recommendations for like what to
And
do.
keeping it all in the same chat. That was my problem. Is I would start a new chat and be like, I don't know
Who
what
are
you're
you?
talking about. Yeah, exactly. And so I have like, it's literally called nutrition chat, and so that's the one I go and I'll log all my workouts, or I don't log it there, but I'll just send them my workouts. I'll send them this. The nice thing about it too is I was at the gym the other day, and like my shoulder was still feeling weird, and I was like, "Hey, give me some." I was like, my left shoulder's kind of acting up. Give me some exercises that I could do for a tricep that's gonna be better on my shoulder. And it gave me like 5 different exercises. I was like, thank you, and I just
Thank
went
you.
and did one of those exercises. Like that kind of stuff is why it's awesome too, because you can tell it what you like, what you don't like, and it will make suggestions based off of that. And again, because I've preloaded its information as like, make sure you're cross-referencing it with all of this other, proven scientific data. I'm not as worried that it's going to give me, and also it's just like, if it gave me some weird fuck, it was like, do handstands and handstand head presses or something weird. I'd be like, okay, it never does that. But if it did, I would just be like, no, that's stupid. But yeah, it
I
always
think
gives options.
I always wonder if that's like why, like, so going back to like why this is like more successful than like any previous attempt that you've done before. It's like it's so much more highly personalized than any person would ever be able to personalize for you. Even if I give all of this, like all of these data points to a human being, they're not going to remember it all.
Hmm.
First off, like they're definitely not going to remember it all, and they're not going to be able to still to build out nearly as effective as a plan to stick to. At least that's what I've been experiencing. When I even just like the when I did the RMR test, like, hey, do you want me to help you with your macros? I'm like, no. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was just like, I'm good because going back to that thing where she's because I've done this before where it's just like before the AI knows you is how I would describe like the humor. It's like, you should eat a bunch of fish. You should eat a bunch of fish.
Yes.
There's so much protein in fish. I was like, I don't like fish. And then
Yeah.
I'd never get that suggestion again. And
Exactly.
then other people have to remember that. And then, but now my AI that I have just remembers these things for forever. And
Hmm.
it's way easier to stay on the straight and narrow. And like you mentioned, like get those, I need to start doing, I'm not doing nearly as much as you are doing in terms of like uploading macros and what I've eaten to like
Hmm.
get those suggestions. But
It just makes it more and
so
more accurate, which is great. Well, the other thing too is it's like also not judgmental, because sometimes you'll run into, there might be a trainer or a nutritionist like, you don't like fish? Well, you probably should still eat fish because it is, all these, like, I know it's good for me. I know it is. I just don't like it. So you're setting me up for failure by making me try to eat or have to eat something that I know I'm not going to eat. So it's just nice. It's like, oh, you don't like that? Cool. This is what I'm going to suggest. I'll never suggest, tilapia ever again. So yeah, I that's one of the things I really do like about it.
is there anything else that you use it for? Like, do you have it build out your workout plans? Like, do you,
It'll give suggestions. So it's actually, I'll when I'm uploading my workout for the day, it will say, I'm trying to think of an example of one time where it said, like, I'm trying to get my chest bigger, and I have like, I was doing like, I can't remember, 3 or 4 exercises. Like, hey, if you want your chest to grow, here's another exercise you could throw in or swap out, and this is gonna hit it. The cool thing about it too is I've never had it like completely come up with a workout routine, but it has suggested things like, hey, these 2 exercises, they're doing the same thing. Add this one in instead, and it's going to hit a different muscle in a different way. And I was just like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. And I've implemented those types of things. But most of my workout routine just came from watching hours and hours of YouTube videos of other people that are way stronger and way smarter than I am when it comes to building muscle. But just those little like tiny tweaks. So I'd say that plus the, hey, my shoulder hurts, or I'm not, something hurts, or something's feeling weird on this exercise. Was there something else I can do? Or like you're at the gym, and this probably happens to people all the time, is hey, the machine I normally used is not available. It's either broken or some douchebag that's doing supersets on it for 5 hours. But like, what's something else I can do while I'm here? And it'll just be like, all right, here's like, and it's never just like, you could only do this one other. It's always like, here's 3 or 4 different exercises you could do. Do those. And that's nice too, because I've used that in a couple of different times at the gym.
and then you have Claude on your phone,
Mhm.
ChatGPT on your phone. Have you ever used Gemini
I've used
and Google?
Gemini
Like for
for,
health related stuff?
not for health. No, I've never used it for health stuff. I think it's because it's like once you start using one form, you just
Yeah.
like, I don't, it's like the tracking thing. I was like, it already knows me. I don't
Yeah.
have to go back and forth. In fact, even when Claude was just like, give me all of the ChatGPT information and I will take over. I still use ChatGPT. Like, not all, I hope Claude's not listening. Not all
Cheating.
the time.
Cheating.
I will ruin you. Um, the but yeah, it's just it's so weird, man. Like, you almost like develop a relationship. It sounds so weird, but it's not like a relationship. It's more like, you already know all this information. Do I want to have to? Do I want to have to like start the first date again with you, and then
Right.
we go over everything again? And then Claude just like, you can download all the information from ChatGPT to give it to me. I was like, I don't want to do that. So I do use Claude though. I kind of like gone more over towards Claude, but a lot of the times I'll just use ChatGPT. So it's either one or the other. They're probably all great, to be completely honest. I'm sure Gemini is just as
It's
awesome.
well, I imagine it's. I mean, like all of them, it's like the amount of input that you give it.
Mhm.
It seemed like because when I first started using Gemini, I didn't have all of like the information. So it was like and also like learning what an active lifestyle is versus an inactive lifestyle. Like I do not live an active lifestyle. Like an
Yeah.
active lifestyle is someone who's on their feet for their job.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
I thought
Yes.
I thought me working out an hour a day meant I was an active person. And so that's what I told it. And that's where like the whole RMR thing became incredibly important because it's like, oh, okay, so you should probably be like 3,000 calories, but you want to be at a deficit. Like, and I was at like 500, essentially
Surplus.
over, yeah, 500 calories of what I should have been doing. I'm
Yes.
just like, oh, okay. Well, that
But you
tracks.
but you figured that out pretty quickly, right? Like you're just like, wait a minute. You knew something was off, right? Because you're
Yeah,
like, I'm not losing weight. What's going on? Like
right.
you're eating whole foods, you're doing what you're supposed to do, but your calorie was just in a surplus. And so that's the thing too, is like if something's not adding up, then like you have to challenge that. That's don't always just like, well, that's what AI said. So I guess I'm just gonna have to keep eating this much, and then all of a sudden I'm 400 pounds. I don't know what happened. Like you still have to use like your own brain, and that's what you did. You're just like, something's not working. I need to get this tested, and that's how you fix that.
And I honestly don't think anyone should start doing any type of health journey until they have. I take that back. I think getting healthy is always going to be a good thing, but like it's just going to make the process so much easier if you have that testing ahead of time. Also gives you a bunch of benchmarks that you can look at so you can be like, "Oh, this is where I was at previously. This is where I'm at now." Because that's like my regret at this point because I started in like November, so we're in
Mhm.
April, the month of April now. So we're coming up on about 6 months,
Yeah,
and I know that there are things that could have gone much more smoothly if I had the correct data to base it off of. So,
yeah, and it's
and
like
it's not expensive.
no, it's not crazy expensive. I have suggested I've been like the missionary for DEXA scans. I'm like, go get one. And I know there's a whole like side thing of like, well, DEXA scans actually aren't that accurate. You want to know what's more accurate than me just guessing?
Yeah,
Way more
right.
accurate. So like, sure, you could say it's off by 4 or 5% of your body fat. Oh, great. But at least you know, as long as you're going to the same place and getting using the same equipment, it's going to be calibrated the same way. So even if it's off 5%, let's just say it's probably not, but even if it's off 5 percentage points, it'll always be the same 5 percentage points. So that being said, like it should still be going down as you're losing weight as far as what your body fat is and stuff like that. But it's just it is so powerful to be able to see what that body fat percentage is and then get one a few months later and see it go down. And you're like, hell yeah. Just all the little motivating things you can do to keep you going. Like take advantage of all of those because the thing about motivation is it fucking goes away. Like you can be as super motivated for a month and then shit pops off, work gets hard or you get depressed or you get stressed out or whatever it is and it's easy to just fall back into old habits. But if you have all these data points, you know exactly where you're at and you know exactly what you have to do. And you're not just only relying on like, I'm motivated to go to the gym. And then, like you said, Alex, it becomes a habit. And then like for me, I don't know how it is for you. Are you like, I feel weird if I don't go to the gym?
Yeah,
Yes.
or workout
Like,
for me. I don't. I my
yes.
gym at the house. Yeah,
Sure. Yeah, if I don't work out. And that's the other thing too. Like that's what I tell everyone. Like you don't have to like go to a gym to work out. Like just whatever you have to do or whatever works for you, do that. Yeah, I feel like today was my off day. So I do 3 days on, 1 day off, and I just do that. That's how I do it. And today is my off day, and I feel off not going to the gym. Like, even though I know like recovery is really important, you have to recover. That's when your muscle actually builds and grows. But I love going to the gym and I like working out and I always feel great when I do. So get to that point.
Yeah. So if we're gonna just give people, like, also people, tell us your prompts. Like, tell us what prompts you're using. Tell us like the different ways you're using AI. Because like my primary way for using it is surrounds nutrition and establishing goals.
Mhm.
I guarantee that there are tons and tons of other ways that, just like today, where I could be uploading my macros so I could get suggestions on like, oh, Alex, you need to eat some more carbs. You need to eat some more protein today. Hey, here's this thing that you can do. Let us know what those ideas are that you have and what has been successful for all of you. But all I got to say is, it's been game changing having AI. Like, this is probably like the most consistent, and even before Aaron started doing it, or I should say, Aaron's been doing it for a long time. Like, I started getting before unsexy became like unsexy what it is now. Like, I started doing it, and it was so much easier to keep with it because of these AI tools that we have. So you definitely need to utilize them. As
Yes.
and I think you will find that you will be able to stay the path much easier having all of this data present for you.
And ChatGPT is free, right? Isn't like I mean, you can only use like so many, but if you're exclusively using it just for your like health journey, you're not going to be
You're not
doing
going to run it.
20.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to be doing 20 prompts a day or 20 questions a day. It's just going to be, whatever. So you don't have to. So another thing, you don't have to spend a bunch of money or any money in order to use AI anyway.
Yeah. Well, thanks everybody for listening. We will chat with you all next week. Have a good one, everybody. Thank you for listening to the Unsexy Businessmen. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review. Now go get to work.